What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ricky Dick Bullshit Podcast with your host, with the most, Superfly, Johnny Lee, the podcast god. And tonight, we got an excellent show for Season 2 of Episode 3 of the Ricky Dick Bullshit Podcast with my co-host, Big Beard Dudley.
What's up, podcast world?
And tonight, we got a special guest inside the studio. Many of you that were at EWA, you recently saw him return to the ring after 6 long years. We got Ace Carmichael in the house.
All in, baby.
That's right. Take it away, Joe.
All right, Ace, how you feeling today?
I feel great, brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for stopping by.
No problem.
At first, I like to keep things simple. What were your first memories of wrestling? Who were you into? Who were you watching?
Let's see. First memories, I was a young child, like 3 years old. One of the first matches I remember seeing was Sting and Vader. So I liked Surfer Sting a lot. Nice. And then I fell in love with Bret Hart. And then that eventually evolved to The Rock and then to Chris Jericho. And now I just, I like anything and everything. I try to learn from almost every match I watch. I try to learn something from it.
All right. When did you get started in wrestling? Who got you started? How did you break in?
It was about 2016. There was some shows running in Irvine, Kentucky. As NOW. I think it was ran by John Strange, Insane John Strange.
Nice.
And I remember sitting there watching the shows, thinking like, man, I should get into that. And luckily enough, his wife was around and said, hey, we can get you in there. And so they told me how to get the license and everything. So I started training there. Eventually, they moved the company out. So in 2017, I applied for OVW as their training up in Louisville. I got accepted into that. I did their whole training, regimen and all that it was about 4 or 5 months. And then started wrestling, a little bit around, then had kids.
Nice.
And it's kind of hard to have a full-time job and wrestle and have kids. Yes, so I had to choose and pick, and I picked my kids.
Hell yeah.
Good choice.
And then recently decided, you know what? It would be good for my kids to see me kick some ass. So that's
Hell yeah.
So we come back to the wrestling world.
Hell yeah. And that's kind of like Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels, the reason why he retired was because he wanted to raise his kids while they were still young. And he didn't come back to wrestling until they were at least a little bit older and he could do things.
And he found God.
He
found his smile.
But just remember, he found God. He did have that moment where he did make Hulk Hogan look like a joke. He brought back the shades of the old 1990s. I hate everything Shawn Michaels for just a bit because he was mad that this man said, that don't work for me, brother.
That don't work for me, brother.
But, yeah, when we saw you at EWA, it was like you never left. It was like when you got into that ring, Ace Carmichael abode was still around.
Well, I appreciate that. That was what I wanted the most, was whenever I had that comeback match. Don't look old, don't look out of shape, don't look like you've missed a step. Afterwards, I felt great, and I've seen clips. You guys have posted a bunch of clips, and like I said, I watch them. I'm just like, yeah, it all looked good. It felt good. I'm ready to rock and roll, and let's do some more.
That's what it's all about, because when we film things, we make sure that the wrestler looks good, because we don't want to catch someone doing something that don't look good.
Yeah, you got to make it look good.
Exactly. You want the wrestler to feel comfortable so that they know that they're doing something right.
Yep.
Because there are some that may make mistakes, but those mistakes can be adjusted. All you got to do is believe in your hard work.
That's right.
And put in that rank.
That's right.
Because look at Ryan. You and Ryan had one hell of a match. Hey, this kid is taller than you, but you were making him look like he was nothing when you were picking up for that spine buster.
Man, that spine buster, it felt so good. That's my inner double A right there.
Yeah. That's right. Arn Anderson, man. Arn Anderson had one of the best finishers inside the game. Plus his tag team with Tully Blanchard.
Yeah, they was pretty tough.
Yes, they
were.
were.
A good crowd there, too, with Flair.
Exactly. And let me just ask you, what was it that made you want to come back to the ring?
How deep you want to get with it?
I go all the way, man.
You can go all the way, or
All right, well, we'll get into it. So, growing up, I had a disabled brother, and we watched wrestling all the time. Loved it. He had cerebral palsy, so he couldn't talk, couldn't walk, just basically confined to a chair. And so we would sit there, we'd watch wrestling all the time, and we was always into it. And he was my number one fan. So,
nice.
like, a lot of it now that I'm doing it, it's to show my kids and people in my community and stuff. It's like, if you have a dream, you can do it. But a lot of it is kind of like a regret story.
Yeah.
Is because back whenever I did wrestle, at first, he was there and he loved it. Like I said, he's my number one fan. And I feel like I kind of let him down whenever I stopped doing it. And he passed away in August. So,
R.I.P. to him.
Yes. And so he passed away in August. And for 6 years, I walked around with this big hole in my soul. Almost felt like a nutshell of myself. Like, I'm here. I'm a dad. You know, I'm the American dream. Got a job, kids, family. And don't get me wrong, I love my family and everything. But it's just, I had so many people would come up to me and be like, hey, man, you still wrestling? And every time I had to say, nope, no more. I don't do that no more. And, man, it just killed me. And finally, like, I think kind of being sort of depressed because I'm just like, I've killed my dream.
Yeah.
Killed it. And so now you're just like, you live with purpose, but it's not what you want to be doing. And so whenever he passed away, it kind of just, like, put me over the edge. I was like, I got to find happiness in something.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So by September, I got a chance to get in a ring, see if I could knock off some ring rust. And obviously I did.
Yep.
And, I mean, that's what's pushing me. So, I mean,
That's a good reason.
It's a great reason. So,
Sure.
Exactly, because you knew that you felt like there was a hole inside your soul. You knew that you want to make him proud because you know that he's watching.
yeah, he's watching. He got the best seat in the house, too.
That's right, and he's still your number one fan.
That's right.
And I don't think that he was disappointed whenever you took a step back. He kind of, I believe that he probably understood.
He for sure understands and knows what, but my thing is I could have been doing this with him here, but now I'm doing it with him here and here.
Right.
So
that's right.
that's closer than
and he's
it could
watching
ever
over
been.
you.
That's right.
And when we watched you versus Ryan, we knew we were seeing something special because you looked good inside the ring. You looked like you were the best presented wrestler there.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And you had the great pose. You hit him with that atomic leg drop as well, man.
That's right.
I don't think they ever recovered either because after you hit him with that, I think I heard him crying.
I love all these videos that says, quit crying, Ryan.
Yeah, that was my commentary because every time you did something to him, it looked like Ryan was crying about it.
Man, whenever he put those fingers in my eyes before that DDT,
He was literally trying to take your eyes.
he knew that old man was about to get him.
Exactly. Because he knew that even though he's the young pup there, you have the experience. He don't.
That's right.
And you had every answer to his moveset. I paid attention to it.
With age comes experience, and that's what I'm saying. Even though I've been outside of the ring physically for 6 years, I've had nothing but wrestling on my mind for 6 years. So what I haven't been doing physically, I've been preparing for mentally, and it shows.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's half of it is mental.
Yeah, 90% of it mental.
Exactly. Because a lot of guys that come back in the ring, they let the confidence just fall away from them. Mm-hmm. But you didn't lack no confidence. You got inside that ring, as soon as you and him locked up, I could see inside your eyes, you already knew.
I knew it.
Hey, I still got it.
I still got it. And Ryan, he's a great competitor. He's still young. Hey, in 10 years, I don't know.
That's right.
He might catch up to me.
Only time can tell if he'll
right.
catch up to you. But yeah, seeing you come back is an inspiration because you were gone for 6 years. You come back, you got it, you still have it. What are your goals for the future?
My goals, baby, I got to go all in on this one. I'm not, I don't care if I have more kids or not. Hopefully not. But if I do, hey, they can jump on the train with us because I ain't stopping now. I just want to take it as far as I can take it. You know what I mean? So used to, my goal was like, if I'm not in WWE in 3 years making millions of dollars, it's wasted. And it's like, no, yes, that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But you can have other goals like, hey, I can be locally known.
Exactly.
You can win championships everywhere else. You don't have to get paid millions of dollars. This is still a dream. It might not be the highest scale of your dream, but you're still doing what you love to do. And that's what I want to do. I want to keep the dream alive. I let it die once. I gave it mouth to mouth. I brought it back to life. Let's keep it going.
Hell yeah.
And it was time for it to come back because you ain't lost it.
Thank you, man.
And I can tell you right now, if you were to wrestle someone like Adrian Alexander, you probably would have his number. Because he's been inside business for about 5 years, I think. And I think you have him in experience because he's been around. You last wrestled 6 years ago, right?
Yep. That
means you got a wealth of knowledge above him because he's been inside the business 5 years.
Yeah.
So, Adrian, if you ever decide that you want to take on Ace Carmichael, will we see it? That is the question.
Hey, you know what? If him and Outlaw Money want to keep, stirring up some trouble in EWA where I'm trying to make, my home promotion, I want to do some things in EWA. I mean, we might try to make it happen.
I mean, that's true.
I'd love to.
You hear that, Outlaw Money? They're coming for you, man.
That's right.
Whoa, let me get some people with me.
That's right. You would have to have someone to watch your back because you got to remember, they don't travel alone. They like to travel in pack.
That's right.
Hell, they didn't even care about Morgan Jane, and she was their manager.
Yeah.
When I saw her get speared and them leave her behind, I was like, what will Outlaw Money not do?
Yeah.
It makes you question it.
You have to question things like that. So I might have to get a little more popular around the locker room. Get some backup if I need it.
That's right.
Well, I think Outlaw Money's made enough enemies. I don't think that'd be
that's
too
true
hard
too.
to find.
That's true too.
Who back there inside the locker room that you see today would you say that you want to have a good match with? Who's caught your eye?
Man, there are so many. At the EWA, everyone's so talented.
Exactly.
I mean, shoot. I would like to have a good match with anybody, really. I mean, that's a terrible answer, but I mean, I got people that stick out. Like, obviously, I like to have a match with Adrian. Chris Crow, he's
good one.
He's a good one. You got Ethan. I don't know what a babyface and babyface match would look like, but I think it would be good. And of course, you got the champion Omega.
Yep.
That guy's a pit bull.
Hell yeah, he is. And what about Marty Clay?
Marty Clay, I like to lock up with Marty. I feel like I got pretty good size, and he's got good size. I feel like we're both, kind of equally athletic. I would like to lock up with Marty as well. So,
hey, I'd be all for that because both of y'all are big boys. If y'all lock up, I gotta give you advice though. Watch out for his dead man's curve. Because I'm telling you, he'll try to put you up onto his shoulders and then hit you with it.
Oh, man, if I'm going to take the dead man's curve, I better have some good brakes.
Yep. Because you're going to have to figure out how to get past that. Because Mark Clay's come to his own these last couple of years, too.
Yeah. See, after I left OVW, I started wrestling a little bit down in AMW with Kyle Maggard and them.
Nice.
And then that's about the time that I think just as I was leaving, Marty Clay was coming in, like right around that time. So I might have missed my chance to get a young Marty Clay, but an experienced Marty Clay. I like to do that. That'd be fun.
Could we ever see you back inside AMW ring?
It's very possible. Very, very possible, yeah.
Because Kyle Maggard's always looking for good talent.
Hey, he's got some good talent.
He does.
I'd be a part of that, too.
And, folks, before we get any further, we'd like to shout out Ultimate Championship Wrestling's Cabernet Super Show, March 15th, Horse Cave, Kentucky. The Nice Game Podcast will be there, and we will be having merch of our own, and also Coco Beware, and Gary Valiant will be there. So, do yourselves a favor, go on down to Horse Cave, Kentucky, March 15th, and enjoy yourself some pro wrestling from Terry England, Brandon T. Wilson, and Jimmy Walls of Ultimate Championship Wrestling Triple Crown Wrestling, and USWF Wrestling. That's all I gotta say to y'all. Back to our scheduled podcast. But watching you, I can always say that I can see big things happening soon. Even though you've been gone 6 years, you're a man that already knows what you want.
That's
you
right.
already have your goals set. I could see you in the EWA championship match inside the future.
I would love that. More than anything, I would love that.
Heck, even the EWA Heritage Championship could be inside the future.
I want some gold.
That's right.
I
And
want
guess
to go
what?
all in. I want to get some gold.
That's right, because guess what? Chris Crow, Omega, both of them are holding gold that you should be having around your race.
That's true. That is true.
So, are you challenging either man? Because if they got the stones, maybe they'll set.
Man,
Well, you know Omega don't back down.
no,
he don't.
neither
And,
one of those guys.
Chris Crow don't back down either, but
I mean, that's the goal. The goal is gold. And I feel like I've had one match back. I want to, and didn't miss a step. I feel like I'm in great shape. I want to get some more, like some confidence building wins.
Yes.
You know
There
what
you
I mean? Let's get some wins stacked up to where, right now if I was like, hey, I want your belt, then who are you?
Yeah, they'll say it.
I'm the old guy, but I'm the new guy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
yeah.
So if I'm like, hey, I got 10 wins, 0
Yep.
losses. That's who I am.
Exactly.
Why are you afraid? Are you afraid that you'll be win number 11 for me?
Exactly.
So that's the goal. Right now, let's stack up some wins, build this beast of a confident
Yep.
monster, and then I'll say, hey,
That way neither of them can turn you down.
that's right.
Because right now they'll just look at you and be like, why would I face you?
Exactly.
But once you got those wins under your belt, there's no way they could say that to you.
Oh, and here's another thing. I get those wins under my belt. Not only does it build my confidence, that crowd, its confidence in me is going to build. And then once, I could walk up to a promoter and say, hey, I like a title match. It don't mean nothing. But if if you people paying to come to these shows want to see it, they'll let it happen. So
Exactly.
I think you made a few fans.
I feel like I did
So-
too.
Because that crowd was hot for you. From the time that you came through those ropes, I heard nothing but people cheering for you. All you did was do your pose and the crowd was erupting. And then Ryan was getting all scared. That's why I said stop crying, Ryan, because I saw the tears out of his eyes. He was telling him, stop it. Then he gets up off the turnbuckle to try to do his pose, and I swear I saw a tear drop down his eyes when the crowd booed him.
Well, I thought that was
Stop
sweat.
crying, Ryan.
Yeah, I thought that was sweat, but
I thought that was, but then I saw his eyes. I was like, oh my God, he's crying. so I had to tell him, Ryan, be confident inside yourself. Stop crying. Just wrestle the man.
just turn around and get whooped,
Yep.
No, he really didn't help his case by trying to have a cheer off.
That's
with
true.
me.
No.
And him going for the eyes, that was a low blow.
No, I think that's what got to him was he tried to get that crowd behind him, and he just said they're not going to do it, and so they resorted to the tactics of getting in my eyes.
But see, that's where he made his mistake because you came back, you had to answer to almost everything that he was throwing at you.
A lot of those times I was absorbing those punches, thinking, all right, he's going to slip up. He's going to slip up. And sure enough, he slipped up. A couple times.
It shows that you had the experience because he was slipping up so many times that allowed you to get in with your offense. You hit him with that blockbuster, and I swear I heard the breath leave him.
That was me.
Oh, that was you? Oh, God. Hey, at least now you know.
Yep.
Get the stamina up, and you'll be able to
There
hit
we
the
go.
blockbuster.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Whenever you get in there, you get a little blown up, and the offense, the defense is coming at you. They're hitting you. These young guys, they freak out. They go in the panic mode. As an old veteran, studying, being out the game for a little bit, you just gotta pick your position, your timing, attack.
Exactly. A lot of people don't understand that you can gas real quick inside the ring. It don't even a professional from football or basketball or soccer, they get inside the ring, they're gonna gas because
Especially
it
with
doesn't
that
matter
crowd.
if they got the stamina.
That's right. You get
It's
that
different.
crowd in there too. All that excitement, it'll shorten your breath real quick.
Exactly.
Real quick.
I figured that out when me and Andy had our match because just running the ropes, you feel like you're gassing because it takes a lot of energy. You got to do ring awareness and ring stamina training too just to keep up. And that's hard, even for a professional athlete.
Yep.
Like, people don't understand that. And Ryan, you can see him kind of gassing too.
He's a young blood too.
Yep. But I see inside his future that he's going to get just as good, if not better.
He's going to keep getting better.
But Cash Atkins also has been getting good.
He's been getting good. He's been getting better. Yep. I like Cash. He's one of the guys I talk to in the back. So
nice.
I like him a lot.
He's doing the right thing if he's talking to you because they got to understand. If you see a guy that's been out of business for longer than you, talk to him. Make sure that you listen as well. Also listen to the veterans because if you don't, then you're doing something wrong. Because the veterans can teach you a lot.
They can teach you a lot. Whether it's you, my advice to young guys is, regardless if you take the advice or not, listen.
Yep.
Listen. Try to take the advice, but if it doesn't work for you, at least you thought about it. You tried it. You were respectful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If a 7-foot veteran comes and tells me, hey, man, you should try to do the big boot like this, I'm like, well, I'm not 7 foot tall. Exactly. So it's probably not going to work for me, but thank you. I'll try it.
Exactly.
But it probably always take advice with a grain of salt. But most of the time, all these veterans in this business usually know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
So,
and even if they do try to suggest you do a big boot that's not suited for your size, just decline politely, tell them, hey, it worked for you, but I'm not your size. Here's what I'm going to do differently. Because even though they're trying to help you, sometimes they forget that you're not their size. Because there are guys that's 7 foot tall, and they'll be like, hey, I believe that you could do a big boot. Why don't you do that for me? You got to tell them, nah, brother.
That don't work for me, brother.
Exactly.
Don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that because then they'll give you the look that Shawn Michaels or someone would be like, did you just, that don't work for me, brother? Are you Hulk Hogan?
Work yourself into a shoot, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, that top leg drop, though, you hit it to perfection.
Man, that felt good, too.
Hey.
That's an old school move, but it felt good.
Yep.
But also, sometimes the leg drop is perfect.
Yeah. I'm 220, 230 pounds. That comes right here on your chest.
Yeah.
That don't feel good.
Especially for Ryan, because he was the one that took it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what made him cry. As soon as he felt that, he's like, I don't want to wrestle no more. He tried to run from you the whole time.
That was when he cried the second time.
Yeah, that's. And the third time was in the after I beat him in the back. I seen.
Yeah.
That's the third time.
Was he crying in the back too?
I was, yeah, but that's just because I was happy. That's happy tears.
Oh, that, no, I'm talking about Ryan. Ryan
he was.
I saw him at the match, and he was crying. He was at the guardrail. He's crawling along the floor like, oh, he beat me again.
I seen a group of older gentlemen saying, "You got beat, you got beat." I love that.
But that's perfect because that shows that you got the crowd.
I got the crowd
eating out of the palm of your hand.
That's right.
That shows you great crowd work.
So I didn't miss a step physically in the ring. I'm mentally prepared.
Yep.
I've got the experience and I got the crowd.
You got the sign.
I got the sign.
That's right. And you got the pose.
I got the pose. Now I'm just missing the gold, but like I said, we're going to work up to that.
Exactly.
And
you also got a badass logo as well.
Thank you. But you get your Ace Carmichael merch.
Right.
Just DM me. I don't have a website or anything. But,
That's right. All they got to do is reach out to them. They can get a T-shirt from you.
That's right.
And that's a good saying. All in. Because you are all in.
You want me to tell you about my old gimmick?
Yes.
Okay.
You go ahead, brother.
I'm sorry. All right. So my old gimmick was I originally wanted to start out as a heel.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the gambler.
Ooh.
The gambler. And so the gimmick was I'm all the time making these terrible wages.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, hey, Johnny, let's have a hair versus beard match or something like that. And, like, I always get screwed over.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, no, that's coming back. I have to definitely be, a good guy. Everybody wants me to come back. So now we're going all in because I'm older now. So
Nice.
it's all in. It's all or nothing now. So I like this gimmick a lot better.
Also, I like that you're keeping a piece of the old gimmick
Yeah.
alive by this time it's just all in.
You got to evolve.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I got all my chips. I'm
Adapt.
pushing them. Exactly. Adapt
Because
and
a
evolve.
lot of wrestlers forget to adapt.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta understand in wrestling, you either adapt or you get left behind.
Well, see, that's why you got people like Chris Jericho.
Yep.
Love Chris Jericho.
Yep.
Every phase of his career I've loved.
Yeah.
From the Lionheart.
Yep.
The 1001 Holds.
Yep.
To the what came after that? The
The
Y2J, Ayatollah Rock and Rolla. Yeah, and I mean like now.
And his 2008 a heel run when he became just a violent piece of trash. Where he was no longer saying I told rock and roll and he was just wearing suits and attacking just because he felt like it. Or he's talking trash or he teams up with Big Show to call himself Jericho.
Jericho, yeah.
But I will say though that Jericho kind of failed to adapt here recently because the Learn Tree gimmick just ain't it.
He's hanging on. He's trying to hang on. And I mean, he's been wrestling 30-something years?
Yep.
It gets kind of hard. And it's not like he's had the
hard.
same gimmick for 30-something years. It's always something new.
Yep.
And I'm kind of saying things like, the Learn Tree, but I feel like by the time we get sick of it, it'll be something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. Because he does adapt.
He does adapt. If it don't work, he'll find something that does.
Hopefully. Because he's one of those guys that learn how to adapt. Undertaker learned how to adapt. Because he's another guy that has different gimmicks. He's first the Western Mortician, 1990. The Phenom, Purple Glove Barrier.
Yep.
Lord of Darkness. Ministry of Darkness, the Minister. Big Evil. American Badass. And now the Hybrid, which is what he was for the past years, 2006 when it began. And then that was the gimmick they retired with. The Last Outlaw comes back as Trinity, aka Mark Calloway, Undertaker, American Badass, all rolled into
Yeah,
one.
it could be any of them.
Because adaptation is the best way of doing professional wrestling. Because you can't just stick with the same thing over and over.
Nope.
You got to gauge what the fans like.
That's right. What a crowd likes here, they might not like here.
Yep.
And if you can't adapt, and then you're in for a long night.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You gotta learn how to adapt on the fly. Because if the crowd ain't buying what y'all are doing, then you just gotta go off the cuff.
That's right. If they
And
ain't
just
buying
couldn't
what
come
you're
up with
selling,
it.
you got to get something else.
Exactly. Because that's professional wrestling.
That's exactly what it is.
Like watching EWA, I see a lot of great talent. I see a lot of great characters, storytelling, professional referees, aka Dusty Barnes' father, Dallas Edwards, Chris Blade, all of them doing a great job as well. They don't take away from the wrestling. They make sure that the wrestling is the main focus. And like you guys like Joe here, excited just by doing the simplest things. Because if you could tell a story with just you and the guys' facial expressions, you're doing something right.
That's exactly what it is. If no one cares, then no one cares.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If you can get people invested and they actually care about what you're doing, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're getting paid to do.
Exactly.
So
And that's what you did. You got the fans invested in the Ace Carmichael.
Well, I was curious of how many fans didn't know that was my first match in 6 years. And so I had to go out there. It's like, not everyone is going to know who I am. Not everyone's going to know my story. So I still have to try to find a way to get them on board with me versus this young cat, Ryan. And I feel like I did a pretty good job because I don't feel like I seen anyone cheering for Ryan. I feel like I seen everyone cheering for me. So
right.
I feel like I did the right thing.
And just think, no one knew that was the old gimmick, the gambler.
Yep.
They all latched
That's
on
all
to
in.
Ace.
Exactly.
All in.
All in, baby.
And that's what's going to help you in the long run. Because now that you're all in, you know what you want inside the future. You know what you want to do. You know what you need to do. And when it happens, I believe that you could become EWA champion or Heritage champion.
And
Hell, I'll go a step further if you were to ever go to any other promotion while still working for EWA, I believe that you would also make those promotions be aware of who Ace Carmichael is.
That's the goal. Make everyone aware.
Exactly.
Not even just in the state of Kentucky. If I can get work anywhere else, I want to go there and
that's a great mindset.
Have people know, hey, that Ace Carmichael guy, I'd like to see him again.
And that's a great mindset because that's how you get noticed inside the business. Because there are guys that like to stay inside one place.
Nope.
But if you go traveling, that helps you inside the long
get that
run.
name out there.
Exactly.
And see, another thing, you named all these things that are great mindsets and what I want. And most importantly, with this all in, is I know what I'm willing to risk to get what I want.
Nice.
That's everything. All in. I want to go all in on it. So
that's right.
That's another part of the whole all in Ace Carmichael is like, I'm willing each and every time that I step in between the ropes to put it all on the line to get the win. That's what I want to do.
Exactly.
Each and every time.
And you've been doing a great job of that because, you know, it's your first match back. I hear people talking about you. It's like you never left and you got fans right now. If you were to go out there in front of them right now on the microphone, they would all be cheering for you. They would be saying, I'm all in.
Good.
Because you knew what you were doing. You knew how you were going to execute it. And even though you did take a moment to breathe it in, you didn't let it falter.
Nope, can't let it cloud that vision.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, you got to breathe it in. You got to enjoy the moment. You have to recognize and realize what you're out there doing. But most importantly, you have to keep in your mind what you're there to do. And that night, my goal was I got to beat this kid. I can't let him make me look like a fool. You know, what if I would have lost?
Oh, no.
6 years, like, wow. 6 years, I got beat. Why am I even doing this again?
Beat on your first night? Oh, God.
Yeah, so, like,
I think Ryan would have held that over your head for the next couple of months.
Maybe for the rest of my life.
Yeah. He probably would have.
Remember when you came back, thought you were a big shot, and I beat you?
He probably would brag. Remember when I stuck my fingers out your eyes and I raked them?
You could have beat him 99 times after that, and he would still go, yeah, but you know
I beat you the first time.
Yeah, your comeback. You remember that night?
He'd be like, you remember that night when I raked your eyes and pinned you 1, 2, 3. You ain't so big shot now.
Knowing Ryan, he would have said you did it clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I rake.
That would definitely been Ryan Ramsey's first go-to to say. I did it clean.
Right in the middle.
I will tell you, I got a little worried whenever I hit the leg drop. He kicked out. I was like, I got to hit him with something big. So I got him up. I gave him a sign. And then whenever I hit that ropes, by the time I hit the ropes, he's already turned around. He hit me that lariat. I was like,
yeah, I saw that lariat. I was like, oh, shit.
Yep.
That may have been it.
It took a lot to kick out of that, but I knew once I got up, I kind of got a little desperate.
Yeah.
Because that took a blow on me. He lifted me up for a DVD. Luckily, I used that mind.
That's
I
right.
slid off down his back, and I knew that was my chance right there. I had to hit him with that famouser and get out of there.
That's right. When I saw the famouser, I was like, damn, not only did he hit an atomic drop, a blockbuster, but now a famouser. This guy's got it.
That's right. I think about calling it the pocket aces.
Oh, yes.
Because you can't see it coming. And so that's the whole idea is like I want to hit the ropes behind him and then bam.
Yeah, make it your
you ain't kicking
move
out of
with
it.
that name.
That's what
About
the pocket aces.
Also, what about the name for the spine buster?
Spine buster? I don't know. Got any suggestions?
Oh,
y'all want to name the spine buster?
Are we going straight poker terms or
anything, baby? We're all in, all of it.
That's right. Wow.
Because I need something whenever Johnny, spine buster. It'd be a lot cooler if you were like this name that you guys come.
Yeah.
Man, you put it on the spot.
There we go. We'll make a note. We'll make a note.
Yeah, we'll put a pin on that one.
Because if we're thinking about name it out there poker terms and keeping it with the ace name, you want something that goes with it.
Yeah.
Because the spine buster can be something that you whip out when they least expect it. Because you did it on Ryan and he didn't expect it.
No. That little up and over, where is he at?
And then boom.
There I am.
Because that's your move now.
So off the top of my head, first thing that comes is ace in the hole.
Ace in the hole? That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
That's pretty good. Ace in the hole, spine buster. That right there would be number 2, right next to Double A.
Yes.
You got Double A spine buster, and then you got the Ace and the Hoe spine buster.
That's right. And it's something that I can remember to yell out whenever you hit it.
Hey, if I from now on, when I know your voice now, whenever I hear something, I'll point over to you. That's my boy Johnny over there, old Superfly over there. That's Johnny
That's
over there.
nice. Because the spine buster that you did was perfect like Double A's.
It felt and looked flawless to me.
Yeah.
Not to toot my own horn, but
No, it
it
did.
looked great.
It did.
Even on the video that I took, it was flawless. You didn't miss it. You didn't mess up. You grabbed him with perfect timing. And as you spun him around and hit that mat, it felt like I was watching Arn Anderson himself hit the spine buster.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And you know what? I had such adrenaline going that I don't know how much Ryan weighs, but like I said, I feel like he was about the same size, and I'm 220, 230, and I just felt like it just floated up and straight down. All that adrenaline going, man. I feel like I could have picked up Andre the Giant that night.
Oh, you could have, because Andre Giant would have weighed nothing to you with that adrenaline.
And then I hit him with the leg drop. Basically, what I'm saying is I could have beat Andre the Giant.
Yes, you could have. Hey, if Ryan was Andre the Giant, you would have beaten him in just 1 second with that leg drop. Sorry, Andre. I know that you could have beat Hogan that night, but that don't work for Hogan, brother.
That didn't work for him, brother.
But now I want to know, out of all the opponents that you faced 6 years ago, before you ever left the business,
Yeah.
who would you say was your favorite to work with?
My favorite to work with, I got 2. Can I give you
nice.
2?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my first match ever was with Voodoo Child Stevie
Nice.
Phillips. And he used to be in a tag team called the Heartbreakers with Loverboy Brock Landers. Shout out.
Ah, yes, we've had Loverboy in here.
That's my wrestling daddy.
Nice.
So,
Right here.
yes, sir. So, my first match ever, so many nerves, so much. And we got out there, and I felt like we tore the house down. And then probably my favorite match I've ever had was with Real Deal Derek Neal.
Nice.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
He's a great worker, and we had a great match in Campton one time for AMW. And man, it was fun getting my ass kicked, but it was tough, but it was a great match. I loved it.
As long as
Derek's a
you're having fun.
badass.
I had fun. It's okay to get
That's
your
all
butt
that
kicked
matters.
as long as you have fun, right?
Exactly. And Derek's a badass himself because we've seen him over the last couple of years now. This man is big too. And if he hits you hard with that clothesline,
He killed me with a clothesline.
yeah.
And what's crazy is he's left-handed. So, like, you don't expect to see a clothesline come from the left arm.
Yeah.
And, man, he rattled me. And then he gave me a fisherman buster. First time I ever took that. And he killed me with it.
Oh, damn.
that's what he beat me with.
And a fisherman buster can be a lot harder if it's hit from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a fisherman buster hit onto the concrete. Not a very good
No.
thing to be done. But
See this guy right here?
yes, I love him.
Okay. So whenever I trained at OVW,
Yeah.
okay, so the way and this is educational for anyone who
Yep.
I don't know how OVW does it now, but this is back in the day. You applied, you had to send pictures, you had to have a physical, you get accepted, and they took about 10 people per class.
Yeah.
And so you do a 10-week course.
Yeah.
So every Saturday and Sunday morning, I would have to drive to Louisville, and you have a class from 8 to 11. Me and Turbo Floyd were in the same class.
Good name for him.
Nice.
And at the end of the 10 weeks, they have a they call it a showcase.
Yeah.
So they pair up a rookie with a veteran, and like it's always like that. It's always rookie with like one of our best workers. And they let me and Randy, Turbo Floyd, we headlined it in the main event. Me and him in a singles match, and I won $10,000. And like I said, I was a gambler.
Nice.
And so me opening up my big mouth said, I feel great. You know what? Let's go double or nothing. Let's have a battle royal, and anyone that can beat me wins this money. We get down to me and him. I hit him with a coin, like a big, huge, like $50.
Nice.
That's how I won our singles match. And then he throws me over and gives me a super kick in the battle royal, and he took my $10,000. So it was all for nothing.
Well, you gambled it. You had to win, and you just had to keep on pressing.
But you know what? I can look at people and say, I have a singles win over Turbo Floyd.
That's right.
There you go.
You know that man has been wrestling since the 80s, right?
Yeah. He's one of the youngest men alive.
He taught Hulk Hogan how to do the leg drop, and he's also taught Magnum TIA how to do his mustache.
He taught Hogan how to get some of that yellow in his hair.
Yes.
So shout out to the AEW's Outrunners.
Yep. Hey, you know what? They've been on AEW for so long. I'm kind of mad that they're not tag team champions yet.
They should have won the tag team champions. Personally, they should have got it when they was super hot. Whenever they gave it to was it Private Party?
Yep, they did.
Whenever they beat the Bucks, that should have been them. So they're kind of cooling down. Hopefully they can get it going again. But
yeah, because these guys had
so
the look.
hot. Yeah, and they got such a great gimmick.
And they came from OBW. They were still working there when they came to AEW. And at the time, I thought that they were going to be tag team champions right away. I was like, there ain't no way that they're going to drop the ball with these guys.
Nope.
But here it is.
They dropped the ball.
It's been like 3 or 4 years since they've signed, and they've not done nothing with them. They're still super over, but they're not getting pushed like they should.
No, whenever you're like one of the top merch sellers, you got to get those guys some gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I don't think that Tony understands that because he's not put the gold on anyone that has been top merch seller.
Nope. I think he books safely.
Yeah.
He wants to book the crowd might get behind these guys, but they might only be behind them for 2 months. So I don't want to put the gold on them. You should have went for it because you can always take it off.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because
I think Tony's biggest problem is he has too much money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like most wrestling promoters are out there to make money. Mm-hmm. So they're going to make their top merch sellers their champions.
Yep, more money.
To where Tony is just collecting wrestling figures.
Yeah.
So, that's been our theory. We wholeheartedly believe that he's got backstage how he books. He got a little miniature ring. He's got a bunch of WWE figures, not AEW figures. He takes the figures that he plays with, and if he ain't got your figure,
you're in catering.
Your push is gone. And like CM Punk said, he's more of a try to be a best friend than an actual boss. So things get lost in translation.
And see, that's like I'm not trying to crap on him or anything because I love AEW, I love WWE,
Yeah.
I love all wrestling.
Yeah,
we all do.
From small promotions to the biggest, like I love it all. But it's like you were saying, it's like if you're not worried about, well, how do I keep my head above water? It's just like, I can do whatever you want to. And, people are still going to watch it, but you don't need to make so much money.
Yeah.
But then you think about like WWE, they're not worried about running out of money, but I mean, they've been doing it for how many years. And so they know what they're doing. They're conditioned to keep doing
50 plus years.
Well, I mean,
probably longer than that now.
In the beginning, they didn't have all that money.
Yeah.
So, they got their formula, and the formula works, so don't change it.
No, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
That's right. And AEW
and Tony, if it is broke, do fix it.
Yes.
Yeah, sign Ace Carmichael. Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Better yet, why ain't he signed you yet? I mean, you've been wrestling.
Look, man, he signed you
back in
instant Hulu deal.
6 years ago. Exactly.
That's why I quit 6 years ago because I didn't get signed, and I said, screw it.
Yeah.
But you will get signed when they notice you.
Exactly.
The streaming wasn't where it is today.
Yeah. I'm not a cable guy. I need streaming.
But guess what?
The king of streaming.
Now that you're back inside business and you start traveling the world wrestling, I believe he's going to sign you as soon as he sees you. First thing he's going to say is, I want that Ace Carmichael on AEW because what better way? Because he's got a pay-per-view called All In.
Exactly.
Yep,
exactly.
And he's also got All Out 2 pay-per-views.
And that's where I get fired.
Around gambling.
You came in and All In, and you went out with All Out.
No, if he fired you All Out, he'd be like, I know I brought you in All In, but Ace, we're going to have to cut some money. I lost it all on gambling.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I seen this podcast you did a couple years ago. You talking about me and my little toy wrestling. Get out of here.
But Tony knows that we love him because he has used some of our ideas that we pitched before.
There you go.
We pitched we were talking about intergender tag team champions being used in AEW. They did it with Sammy Guevara and Tay Miller afterwards. I'm like, they obviously would listen to our podcast.
Word travels fast.
Tony, we want to hug you, brother. We just want to hug. Because we know that you like to hug.
Yeah, hook us up with some front row tickets.
Exactly. We'll come to all your shows and we will cheer for everyone.
Hey, I think he should get rid of the Tony Schiavone podcast and just have you guys interview the
He
AEW
should.
talent.
There
There
you
you go.
Because
You hear that, Conrad?
if he had us, he would be going even further than what he
Exactly.
is now. Because we make sure that all our guests feel welcome. We put them over, and we make sure to put over AEW. That's why we're watching it
Yeah.
every Wednesday. Every Wednesday night, we came up with this back in 2022. Since we do shows on Wednesdays, and they do shows on Wednesdays, we're going to watch it together. So basically, our guest and us, we're putting over AEW by checking out. Because even though we do criticize it, we don't want to criticize it. Because we love AEW. We wanted to see better. Because it was the alternative to WWE back then.
You can have healthy criticism.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like, even with my match, that's why I watch every clip. I had someone video it so that I could watch it and not
Yep.
be like, oh, man, I suck. But, like, so I can be like, I need to work on my footwork
Yep.
here. I need to, okay, normally he'll throw a lariat right here. That's when I should duck.
Yeah.
It's just like any sport. Like basketball, those NBA players, they watch film
Yep.
more than they practice. You know what I mean? So you got, it's like you were saying earlier, most of it's mental.
Yep. Because healthy criticism is good. Not like those dirt sheet ones where they just criticize to be criticized.
Just talk because, well, if we say everything's good, then no one cares and they
Exactly.
don't want to listen. You know what I mean?
And what they don't understand is that the way that they're doing it, they're pretty much trashing all wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Because they act like they know it all. And that's not how it's supposed to be.
No,
You're supposed
you're supposed to love it.
Exactly. And all they want to do is deconstruct it. And all I can say is, why the fuck do y'all watch it if y'all just going to spend all day,
If you
every
hate it
day?
that bad, yeah.
Exactly. And sometimes when they're on X, I see them scrolling. They can't scroll away. They just have to go, you didn't do that super kick right. You broke that man's nose. I'm like, accidents happen, you dumbass. I mean, it ain't ballet.
No, at all.
That's the number one rule of wrestling. It ain't ballet.
Hey, you
Accidents can happen.
The biggest people who criticize wrestling will be the last person to lace up a
Yep.
pair of boots.
Exactly. And technically, they're your biggest stands when they criticize you that much.
Yep, because you must be watching me.
Exactly. I mean, look at, they were shitting on the Outrunners, and I'm thinking, y'all are hating because the Outrunners are over.
Yep.
Y'all don't understand that they had the look, the character, the presentation. They know what they're doing. They know how to get it over, and the fans are receptive to it. So when y'all are hating, they're not sweating you because they're not listening to you.
No. You gotta listen to that crowd.
Exactly, because it's the crowd that tells you if you're doing good.
Yep.
If the crowd's sitting on their ass and they're not cheering for you, something's wrong.
You see this?
But they're doing, yeah, I do see it.
Now wait till you get this comeback here.
Exactly, because watch this. After the Outrunners start beginning, you'll see it. Oh, never mind.
Uh-oh.
There it is.
There we go. But did it have to be on a distraction?
Oh, man, let him get it clean.
I know, right? Of course, the Hurt said get.
Hey, listen, they shouldn't beat them, but what if, you know what I mean? What if-
Yes.
That's how Tony does book, is like, hey, we should put these belts on these guys 2 months later, and it's like,
Yeah.
but now you're beating these guys.
Yeah, it's true.
And he doesn't really book the way it's like, if, like upsets.
Yeah.
Pretty much you always know who's going to win, you know what
Yep.
I mean?
And it's pretty sad because in this match, the Outrunners could have run clean.
Yeah, they should.
That would have been way better. Because look at the crowd. The crowd didn't react to that roll-up win.
Like, you could have the Brian Cage should be wearing, like, people should wear the shirt, who'd you ever beat? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could have easily hit him with that Turbo Floyd, you son of a bitch. elbow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it should have been a clean win for them because the crowd, they would have reacted more better
Yeah.
if it was no distraction.
They just won, and they were sitting on their hands. Just,
Yep. Which was pretty sad because the Outrunners are fucking over.
They're over, yeah.
And I feel like what happened was when distraction happened, the crowd instantly died because they knew
something's
no
going
more
on.
no more clean wrestling match.
Yeah.
But again, that's AEW for you.
That's
They,
AEW.
and it's healthy criticism because we just want them to do better.
Yep.
Like the Death Rider storyline, it's not hitting.
It's not hitting, but
And I hate to be the type guy that said that because they need a world champion that's actually going to show off the championship.
yeah,
I understand what he's trying to say about the fans don't deserve to see it, but if we don't see it,
why do we care?
exactly. And also, it becomes second bill. Like, up until now, I forgot that John Moxley was even AEW champion. Then someone reminded me, I was like, I'm not seeing him carry it around.
Yeah,
Because there's no way he's carrying it inside that briefcase.
no. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like you. That whole storyline. I feel like if that's your top prize, you know what I mean. That's what you're supposed to show off. That's what everyone's supposed to want.
And it's kind of disrespectful to the ones that have held that title before because think about it. The championship is very important in professional wrestling. If you don't show it off with pride, you're basically pissing on everything that those that came before AEW was staying or WWE was staying.
Yep.
Because you're saying, oh, these belts don't mean nothing.
No, doesn't mean anything.
That sounds like some Vince Russo book.
Yeah.
Look, bro, we're going to take the title away, okay, bro? Because when we bring it back, it's going to be big, okay, bro?
Yeah, pal. Don't say belts. It's titles.
Yeah. Belts. Keep your pants up. These are titles. But
They'll say you want a title or a shot. You want a title opportunity.
But that's my thing is that they've kept the AEW titles hidden for so long that
And they have so many.
exactly.
That's another thing. It's not like you just have a heavyweight and an intercontinental. It's like you have, I don't even know how many belts they have, honestly.
Yeah, too many.
It's
many.
Oprah. It's like Oprah. You get a title. You get a title. Everybody here gets a title.
And they have, and like that's WWE's problem, I feel like, too.
Yes,
Is there's too many, like, it's kind of hard because they have so many different levels of like, well, you have the world championship and then it's like all the way down to here. It's just like, no one feels like they're like a top-notch star unless they're going for the very top.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
And now they kind of fixed that by having the Intercontinental Championship mean more again. Now they got the female Intercontinental Championship because a lot of people want the females to have a mid-card title themselves because for the longest time all they had was their women's championship.
Yeah.
Now they brought in the United States Championship and the Continental Championship for the women.
Well, see,
It's doing a good job.
the brand split is the problem.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Because, I mean, they do have 3 belts for each division, but you have 12 or 4 divisions. That equals 12 belts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And see, the thing is, like, I wish that they would do away with the brand split. Now, you can have certain, like, not like in stone, but say like Monday nights, you kind of know who you're already going to see. Friday nights, you kind of already know who you're going to see, but they can switch too, you know what I mean?
And they do that a lot anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, so what's the point of it? And then also it's like, if I'm a Cody fan, I'm not going to watch Mondays. Okay, what if there's a chance Cody shows up Monday? Now I'm probably going to tune in. You know what I mean? It's like, but if I'm like, no, he's here Friday, I'll skip Monday.
Right.
Exactly.
Silly.
Like
And to me, it seems like the Universal title is the main title, and the heavyweight title
Secondary
is
now.
really meaningless.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wish.
And don't get me wrong, Gunther's a great champion. I
Oh,
love
he
Gunther.
is.
But the title itself
Just feels second.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Damian Priest feud with Gunther did not do Gunther any favors. Gunther was booked strong up until that point. But then when it became Damian Priest versus Gunther, Gunther was made to be a cowardly heel out of nowhere. And it did nothing for his title reign. This man has held this title for such a long time, yet it felt like it was meaningless compared to Cody's.
I wish they'd take that big E off there and it looked like the big gold again.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love that because it's almost like a tease. But I tell you what, I don't know if I want to go on record saying, but I'll do it. I don't know if Jey Uso is going to make it all the way to the WrestleMania before he challenges for the gold.
Oh,
I feel like something crazy's going on.
Oh, yeah.
I do too.
I feel like that storyline's too hot for it to be 2 months away. I feel like they'll end up having something to where I don't know if it'll be Cena or who it'll be, but something's going to happen like where I don't think Jey Uso will main event.
I'm feeling that.
That's like a crazy prediction. That's like what because I don't know.
Because think about it, Gunther's been telling him, "I'm gonna make your life a living hell till WrestleMania." Mm-hmm. He's been making good on that promise,
and it's 2 months away.
Yep,
that's
a lot of TV. I mean, but Jey Uso is hard right now though. But the storyline I feel like is already peaking.
Oh, look at this, DJ Easy's here. It was good seeing the Superfly John Lee this past Sunday at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling. That's right, DJ Easy. Thank you for tuning in, brother.
Hey, Chris Blade over here talking some shit.
Uh-oh.
Ace Carmichael, Outlaw Nation.
Yep. But see, Chris, are you all in?
He ain't all in.
Oh.
That's right. He ain't all in. Ace Carmichael's all in.
I'm all in.
That's right. You know what? I believe that if you were to go to AEW, that'd be a good signing because you get it. Guys like Swerve also started out not big names.
Yeah.
They wrestled on independence. And look at where they're at. Swerve, even though he ain't the AEW champion, he feels more important than John Moxley because he's been presented well, because that's all thanks to him. And Prince Nana's been a hell of an addition to him. Because sometimes a manager can make the wrestler.
Well, see, like our last conversation, like about the belts, is like that's what it's about. Yep. That's your goal. But then you got some wrestlers like him. I also think of like Roddy Piper.
Yep.
People like that.
And Jake the Snake.
They want the gold, but they don't need the gold.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, they're here.
It's kind of like the Undertaker. The Undertaker didn't need the big gold. No. Or the WWE championship.
Sometimes put it on him to push the merch a little bit.
Yep.
But, yeah.
But other than that, for his whole career, he only held the title at least 7 times. Mm-hmm. But most of that career was spent not holding that big championship. He only held tag team titles, maybe, hardcore championship, IC title, I think, and that was about it. Mm-hmm. But other than that, he didn't need a title.
Nope.
Same thing with Jake the Snake Roberts. Roddy Piper. A lot of guys back then didn't hold that title. And people try to put them down, but what they need to understand is that you don't need the title to make you.
Nope. And see, that's what I was kind of getting at earlier as far as like building wins. Like, don't get me wrong, having some gold, that's the goal, and that's great. But right now I want to establish myself to where, you know, people think I'm a big deal. They'll think I'm well presented. They'll think I'm a great wrestler, even though right now I don't have gold on me. Exactly. So like that's what I'm trying to get to. And then, you know, if I can get some gold on there too, that's just icing on the cake for me.
Exactly. And the championship may be good, but if you're getting wins, you can establish establish yourself as the guy that don't need the title. Mm-hmm. Because the title may be a reward to make your hard work feel important, mm-hmm. but you can make that important all by itself without the title. Just like Jake the Snake did, Roddy Piper, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes never held the WWF Championship, but he made his mark just by being him.
You know, what's crazy is there's people that's probably not even wrestling fans that know every one of those guys you just named.
Yep.
And they weren't even world champions.
Right.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's what a lot of people don't understand is that not every wrestler needs a championship. Sometimes a wrestler just needs to do his thing, build himself, make himself a winner in the fans' eyes. Because he don't need the title, really.
No, you got to make those people care about you.
Even someone like Jey Uso wouldn't need the title because Jay's already over. Mm-hmm. Just him doing this little thing every Monday night gets the fans.
Over. That is so over.
Oh, it is. And I would.
Chris Blade says he is all in.
Oh, attaboy Blade. Shout out to Outlaw Nation then.
He said Ace Carmichael versus Ricky the Rodent.
What's up, Party Man Cam?
Party Man Cam said, "What's up, Ace?
What's up, Big Cam?
Fair deal is not the GOAT. Shut up, Chris. He sucks. He's a masked coward. Everyone knows cowards hide behind masks.
And luchadors.
That's right. Luchadors too. That's why Chad Gable is gonna whoop every luchador's ass, and I'm all for it. You know that he's already over there learning. He's got the best. What about Penta though? Penta went from AEW. He feels like a bigger deal.
Hey,
already right off the bat.
I seen a video of him. I want to say it's on the Chris Van Fleet?
Yep.
I seen him on there, and he was talking about his first match in WWE, and seeing his daughter in the front row. And like I could relate to that so much because this was my first match since having kids, and I seen my 2 kids, and whenever I got that win and you see me hit my heart and blow a kiss, that was to my kids, man.
Nice.
It took everything. Like I wanted, like I said, happy tears. I didn't really cry, but I could have teared up because I was just so happy because I could see my kids looking at me as like a superhero. Like I just beat a bad guy, and like they just, the way they looked at me. My son's been talking about I gave Ryan a drop kick, and for the last 3 weeks he said, whenever I get big, I want to kick bad guys in the head too. And I was like, we'll get you, brother. We'll get you in there.
Because you did a hell of a drop kick that night.
I mean, I was surprised with my drop kick because that's one that I love, a drop kick. But whenever you go to give a drop kick and you hit somebody in the belly, it don't look too good. So as long as I get whenever I had that match with Derek Neal, I stiffed him pretty good on the drop.
Oh, hey, I bet they appreciate it though because it makes it
looks good,
like a big
looks great.
deal.
Yes,
and it was because it left him hurt.
Yeah,
and if it ain't hurting,
that might have been where that first tear came from.
Maybe he'll owe you one next time.
What about him messing up the apron?
Oh, yes.
After I took him outside and gave him a couple shots because he tried to throw me out of the ring.
Yep.
And whenever he threw me out of the ring, I was like, okay, if that's what we're going to do. So then I pull him out. And typically I don't like to throw him punches. I like to keep it wrestling. It's like, if you're going to piss me off and throw me out of the ring, all right, this is where we're going. I hit him with a couple shots, throw him in. He crawls to the corner. And he starts pulling the apron onto the and I'm telling the ref, like, what is he doing? And then I'm sitting there watching the ref try to fix it, and then I turn to Ryan, and that's when he rakes my eyes.
Yeah,
Hits me with the DDT.
Ryan had that planned.
Up. It threw me off though. That's not something you study. Someone's bringing the apron, like messing up the apron.
That was a grade A plan by him because he knew that you wasn't going to be focused on anything. He knew that all you were going to see is that this guy's acting stupid.
Exactly.
And so after the referee went up there, he's like, "Now's my chance." Rakes the eyes, DDT,
and that's on me. That's on me. I should have.
Well, I mean, live and learn.
Live and learn, exactly.
That's right. And what about when you locked up? You were throwing this guy around. This guy, he said, "I am tough. He's not too tough for me. I just wasn't ready."
I wasn't ready.
But you was ready.
You know what? All those. I have a full gym, and it's outside in a barn. And like for years, that's one thing. For the last 6 years, I haven't wrestled, but I physically prepare like I still wrestle. And so when we locked up, I could feel. I had some of that old man strength in me, and I just had I had 6 years of pent up wrestling, and I just threw him down. I was like, yeah, all those cold nights out there in that barn's paid off. So it felt great. So then I had to hit him with a little flex for him.
That's right. And you know what? I bet that embarrassed him as he's looking up after that leg drop because you were doing that pose. It made him weep. Man. I bet that as he was going to the back, he said, "I ain't never wrestling Ace no more."
It wasn't even the finish that, after I pinned him, he was still thinking about, hey, he hit me with a Hulk Hogan leg drop.
Exactly.
I can't believe it.
Imagine being someone his age and he gets hit with a Hulk Hogan leg drop out of nowhere.
He's probably never seen that in person.
Exactly.
No.
And by someone that's younger than Hulk Hogan.
Tell you what.
Wait a minute, we got someone trying to call in.
Uh-oh.
Who is this?
Is it Ron Ramsey?
Hello?
Hey.
What up, Cam?
Oh, is that Big Cam?
What's up, y'all? Real quick, just want to get on here.
Is this guy eating?
So, yes,
are you eating right now, Cam?
I can definitely tell you that Ace and Cash, both of y'all have made an incredible, fantastic, phenomenal, incredible impact in EWA.
Hey, thanks, man.
Ace, your match was amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing, fantastic. And even after you told me your story, you still got it, man. You still doing your thing. Seeing your family out there supporting you, you got the crowd on you, man.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Both you and Cash Atkins, y'all both have got the flow. Y'all got the flow, and I'm glad that I had the honor of announcing you to the ring that night. I can definitely tell you keep up good work, man.
Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from the party man. You know what really gets me pumped up is whenever I hear my music, I walk out there, I see the crowd, and then you have this amazing man's voice saying,
That's right.
"Oh, Ed, Ace, Carmichael." Man, if that'll give you
Oh,
chill bumps
man.
and get you
Yeah,
pumped, ready to
Will.
go,
Cam's one of the best.
he is.
He is. He's
Yeah,
got
man,
the voice for it.
I'm just there to try my best, man. But
Hey, you do
I
it,
was gonna
brother.
let you know let all y'all know I love you, all three of y'all. Y'all keep up the good work. Sorry if I can't make it as much because I'm working my butt off.
Hey, do your thing, brother.
That's right.
But
shot.
I love you guys. Y'all take it easy. We're gonna get back to work here.
All right,
You
love,
too, brother.
love you, brother.
Much love, bro.
Much love.
Love up.
But yeah, he is a great ring announcer. When he announced you, it really let the fans know who all in Ace Carmichael is.
Without doing anything, just saying the name.
Because if he announced you like this, and now Ace Carmichael, the fans wouldn't have showed you love.
Who?
But him screaming, and now Ace Carmichael.
Yes.
Everybody
That's right.
knew who you was.
Man, I was walking across that ramp and I hopped down to start showing some love to the
That's
fans.
right.
Man.
Hey, mama.
Yeah, as he was saying that, just got goosebumps. It was a great feeling.
Heck yeah, Dorothy's here.
Uh-oh, my mama out there. Shout out to my mama. Love my mama.
But yeah, it was great watching because when you jumped down the ramp, I filmed that too. You walking around, just taking it in with the fans.
Yeah, I could have stayed out there the
Yeah,
whole time just getting love from the fans.
Cause while that was happening, Ryan, I swear, I watched Ryan the whole time that you were out there, and Ryan was like, he was crying up a storm. He's like,
Yeah, his
don't
patty
let this
poo-poo.
man get back inside here and fight me. And what happened? He got beat.
He got beat.
And why? Because he thought that his cheating tactic would work.
And it didn't.
It didn't.
But you know what did prevail? The fans' love.
That's right.
that pushed me over the edge.
The fans allowed you to feel that adrenaline, and you were like, eat your prayers, say your vitamin, and watch this atomic leg drop. And Ryan now knows what a atomic leg drop feels like.
Go watch WrestleMania 1 through 6, brother.
That's how you'll know exactly how this man hit Ryan with that leg drop.
Exactly. But speaking of the fans, honestly, not being in a ring for 6 years, you can run as many miles as you want.
Yep.
You can do as much cardio as you want. But whenever you get out there in the ring, it's a totally different environment, and
sure
it messes
is.
with your breathing, and it's kind of hard to explain. But then also at the same time, as you're getting winded and as you're getting pounded on and just beat up, it's kind of hard to find that place to go to want to push it over the edge. And whenever you get that fans behind you, it's like a surge of energy just jolts through your body, and you feel like I said, I feel like I could have beat Andre the Giant that night.
Exactly.
With that spine buster.
And you look like you didn't lose a step. That's what's amazing about it.
I love
Because
that.
You were gone 6 years. Your first match back, you worked with an incredible guy like Ryan because he's young, he's hungry. He knew to give you a good match. And it looked like you didn't lose a step. It looked like you already knew what you were going to do.
I had in mind what I wanted to do, and I know we've been crapping on Ryan because it's fun.
Yeah.
But he's a great competitor, and if he sticks with it, he's gonna be great. But whenever I talked to him and I got booked for the show, and I was like, all right, I'm making a comeback. After that match, I wanted to be able to be like, I still have it or not? And to be honest with you, I feel like I had it better than I thought I was going to. I feel like I had it better than I used to have it.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's from like when you're a young, dumb kid and you get into it, you're just like, I'm going to wrestle. But it's like now as I'm older, even though I haven't physically been in the ring, you study it nonstop. Whenever I leave here, the only thing I really watch on TV is a lot of old wrestling. I watch the new wrestling, kind of stay, up to
Do you
date.
watch any Memphis?
Oh, all the old stuff, man.
Hell yeah.
All the old stuff. That's what I love. I love the old territory stuff to where
Me too.
like I'll watch a couple of the episodes with, I love squash matches, mainly because of the jobbers, like their gimmicks and stuff. I love that stuff. But then to watch the old Starcades and stuff like that, to where you have these months of squash matches built up to where the superstars clash. I love those. And but anyways, you sit there and you study all that, and then you learn the psychology and the spacing and just where you need to be in wrestling in the ring, and you learn all that stuff. And so like now it's like 6 years of pent up wrestling knowledge and, you know, physicality and all that. And I got to just put it on display. And that's why I say, after being out for 6 years, not only do I feel like I didn't miss a step, but I feel like I'm better than ever after 6 years. And it sounds crazy. And I know people are going to hear, yeah, right. Like, I can't wait to get back in the ring and do it again.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We can't wait to see you do it again.
Do what?
We can't wait to see you do it again.
I can't wait to do it again.
And I believe it that you have gotten way better than what you was back then, because you got the experience now.
Yeah.
And you knew what you were going to do. And when you were inside the ring, Brian, you didn't look like you rode at all.
Really?
You looked like you and him were about the same age because of the way you moved.
Good. Because that was another one of my things. Like I'm not crazy old, but for a wrestler, I'm not young. Right. And so going against a younger guy in his early 20s like Ryan, I was like, you know, can I keep up with him? And I feel like not only did I keep up, but I excelled, and I was better and more physical. And like even when I hit that finish, when I jumped over him, I feel like I got more air than like I used to.
Even the leg drop, you got more air. I think your leg drop was even higher than Hulk Hogan.
I should have done a flip, made it a Harlem Hangover. On that.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
You should have climbed up the top rope and did the Harlem Hangover from the middle rope.
He wouldn't have kicked out of that one.
Oh, he wouldn't have. He would have been like, why'd you hit with that? You said you were going to hit with your atomic leg drop. Well, I lied.
I tell him get out of that ring so I can do my spinning Rooney real quick. Sucker.
That's right. But you come back is proof that it doesn't matter how old you are inside the ring. If you can go, your body understands that you can still go, it's going to take you places.
Exactly.
And that's what happened.
And another thing that I like to, like, even if we think of it outside of a wrestling spectrum, is like what I wanted to prove was it doesn't matter how dead someone thinks their dreams to do anything. It doesn't matter if it's wrestling, if you want to go back to school, if you want, it doesn't matter what you want to do. Start a business. No matter how dead you think that dream is, all you got to do is get off your ass and just do it. Make it happen. And that's exactly what I did. And now look at me. I'm on.
It's not dead. It's just on life support.
It's on life support. You know what? People come out of comas every day and make a full recovery, and that's exactly what Ace Carmichael's all-in journey is. Is like we're going all in on this dream, and we're going to take it to the top or as far as we can take it. And now look at me.
That's right.
Look at me. Now look at me.
I love it. So. Because you may not realize it, but the more reps you get in, one day you might get noticed by Tony Khan. Tony Khan might be like, I want that all in on my show. Or you get noticed by Triple H. I want this guy on my show. Because the work that you put in shows in just how you were doing things that night. And the more you work EWA, you're going to be showing the fans what they can expect from all in Ace Carmichael.
That's right.
Because that's what it's all about.
Well, that's great to hear that someone, I mean, obviously I know, hey, my hard work's paid off. But then whenever you have someone, like I've never met you until today. And for you to sit here and say, hey, man, I can tell your hard work pays off. It's like, that's great. That's a wonderful feeling. Exactly. That makes me want to go home. Like, I got to go home, go to bed, get ready for a shoot work tomorrow. And it's like, I just want to go outside and lift now because I just want to keep putting that hard work, stacking it up.
Because that's what you're doing. The more you go all in on this dream, the more it's going to keep on accumulating. It's going to keep on building. Your respect's going to keep on going. The fans are going to keep on gravitating towards you because they already are. Obviously, you saw it for yourself firsthand.
Yes.
In the video, you see all those fans cheering for you.
Yes, for me.
And that's the first night that they saw you.
And I mean, and because of that hard work, because of those fans getting behind me, now I'm on your platform putting myself out there.
That's right.
And I thank you and appreciate you for this. And so hopefully, like you said, we can keep stacking that hard work in here and put this effort in here, get the crowd in here. We get Superfly Jimmy and you guys in here, or Johnny in here, and then we can just push it all in.
That's right.
We can go all in, and we can stack the thing, and then Tony Khan be called.
That's right, because, I mean, think about it. Tony Khan, he loves a good wrestler.
Just don't forget the little guys, you know.
Yeah. don't be up his favorite little guy. He'll get mad.
I tell you what, if Tony Khan or Paul Levesque hit me up, first person I'm calling, Superfly Johnny, and be like, hey,
Hell
man,
yeah.
hey, brother, we got to do a podcast real quick.
That's right. And then we're going to announce it to the world.
There we go.
Because think about it. Triple H does, contrary to what people believe, he does have a burner account on Twitter. He does pay attention to all the indie wrestling. Because unlike Vince McMahon, Triple H is receptive to indie wrestling.
Well, you even got that, was it the WWE ID?
Yeah.
Whatever like that?
Yeah.
And that's a good program, too.
It's a great program, but I think a lot of people think, oh, that's just to lock up, these people in the indies. But it's like, they can also, like, sign somewhere else if they wanted to.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know if you'd want to, but you could.
Exactly.
But, I mean that's just a great flex if you could get a WWE ID. Like, oh, yeah, no, WWE's looking at me, no big deal.
And what makes it great is that WID is allowing them to teach you WWE style.
Mm-hmm.
So that if you do want to sign with WWE, they already have you where they can talk to you. And it also helps you to go out onto indies and use this style that you've learned for the independents and set yourself apart from any other promotion.
And you get those more reps.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good thing for wrestling because for the longest time, WWE treated indie wrestling like it was nothing.
Crap, yep.
But now it's acknowledging that indie wrestling is here to stay. And by doing that, they've developed WID to help nurture indie wrestling, to help give more eyes to these guys. And also you got LFG, which is featuring some of these guys from WID showing up and these coaches teaching them what they know. I think that's a good thing for wrestling.
Isn't wrestling beautiful?
It really
Yes, it is.
Isn't it?
really
Especially right now.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time it stayed not where it was, but ever since 2015 you start seeing the rapid growth of wrestling.
And
we had our highs and we've had our lows.
And see, that's what's so crazy is, like I said earlier, I used to like watch wrestling all the time with my brother growing up. And then I get to the age of like 13, 14, start chasing girls. I don't get to watch wrestling as much. And then, then after high school and all that, you go to college. And I didn't watch wrestling from about 2010 to about 2015.
Yep.
And then that's when I really got back into it. Finn Balor caught my eye.
Yeah,
Whenever they had
yeah.
NXT, he came out as the demon.
Yes, the
a
demon
lot.
presentation.
I love that. And like I'd never even heard it NXT. I started watching that, and that really got me back into it. And then since 2015, I've been that's what's on my TV pretty much 20. Unless my kids are watching something, like it's got wrestling on it. And sometimes I can even convince them to watch it with me. So
exactly, hell cool. Yeah. And you know what? NXT feels like an independent promotion itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I credit that with Triple H because it feels like for a long time he was watching independent wrestling.
He appreciated it.
Yep. And that's what made him create NXT. He took it from Vince McMahon, who was using it as just a game show type deal. Triple H's like, let me have it.
Yeah, we can turn something into
I'm going to turn it into something special, beautiful. And then you start seeing these names that were coming in like Tyler Black, a.k.a. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. All guys that are now on WWE roster have been to NXT. It was his own brand, and it felt like it was even better than Raw and SmackDown because Triple H and his League of Writers, they knew how to write it. It was like an indie show, but on a bigger platform, and it was allowing indie wrestlers to grind their teeth, so to speak.
And obviously I'm a little biased, but I think independent wrestling is so much harder than
It is.
your WWE and stuff because they have weekly television where people can keep up with storylines and they get invested. When you go to an independent show, yes, there are some storylines, but like I said, with mine and Ryan's match, most of the people didn't know who the hell I was and that I hadn't wrestled in 6 years.
Exactly.
Right.
Most of the people didn't know who Ron Ramsey were. And it's like for you to be able to, hey, you guys got 10 minutes to go out there and make this crowd care about what you're doing with no storyline, no nothing. You do an entrance, and that's about as much time as you have to get them invested. Like, I feel like that's very difficult, and I feel like we did a great job of getting the crowd invested, especially with getting them behind me in such a short term and such, like, time-wise. And I feel like now it's just going to take off.
Exactly. Because now the fans know you.
Yeah. And hopefully I will get...
Well, it's not like you get promo time where
No.
you're out there like, hey, guys, I'm coming back, and then Ryan interrupts, who's this guy, blah, 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 sets up a match. You guys don't get none of that.
And even if that happened, the first time I come out there, I'm like, hey, I'm all in Ace Carmichael. Everyone's like, well, okay, do we cheer? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No one knows who I am. There's not a storyline. Like, we can't build up weekly. And even if you have the with independent wrestling, the way it works is most places have a show either once a month or twice a month. And it's like, even then, it's like trying to get people to keep up with a storyline that many weeks out is difficult. But then if you think about like what WWE's done since '93, they have a weekly TV show every week for 22 years now. That's crazy.
It is.
Or 32 years. 30
years.
God, I'm
since,
old.
Since 1993.
Yep.
That's crazy.
And think about this. WCW may have been beating them, but it was only for 83 weeks.
83 weeks, yeah.
And what people don't understand is that the reason why they're beating them was because at that time this man was stubborn. Didn't want to adapt, didn't want to change. Then comes 1997. That was the turning point. While WCW was still on top, WWF was already rectifying what was their mistake. About 1998, that's when you saw the real flourishing. Because then you got Stone Cold Steve Austin on top. You got The Rock on top. You got Triple H. You got Mankind doing his thing. Cactus Jack returns. You got Terry Funk. You got New Age Outlaws. You got all these names. And then you saw the flaws with WCW. They allowed the finger poke doom to happen, which was not good.
No, not at all.
But that also shows you WWE's been around a long time. They knew how to adapt. Now, on independent wrestling, you can keep a storyline going, but you have to be consistent with it.
Very consistent.
Because even if you're doing only 2 shows a month or 1 show a month, you can keep that story going. All you got to do is build it from 1 month to another month. Because if you don't, the fans lose track. And then the fans don't care.
Yep.
That's
all it takes is one show to slip up.
Yep.
And then the next show you come back like, wait a second. Who's that? Who?
you need the fans to understand that you're being consistent with it. Because if they got Ace Carmichael versus Ryan Ramsey in this feud, and you both have had match after match, and then 4th month in, the storyline somehow vanished. Now you're fighting just anybody.
Yeah.
The fans are like, what the fuck am I
Where's
watching?
Ryan at?
and you're like, who's Ryan? I've never met that guy because now you have to ignore that you even had a feud.
Exactly.
But all I say is that independent wrestling can create consistent storytelling. They just need to do it month after month. Because that's how you get the fans to understand. Yeah, we do have storytelling. EWA's got stories.
Yes.
They had a long running storyline that just ended in last year's October. It involved the Ben Sheeran brand. They had all to go. They were on top for months. Marty Clay got taken out. Scott Diamond got taken out. And then it culminates with Scott Diamond back. Berto, Marty Clay, even higher. They get the win. And now Berto is commissioner. And Ben Sheeran's out the gate. And finally gets attacked by Scott Diamond. That was storytelling at its best.
Hey, I've known Scott for a while, and if I know anything about Scott, he's gonna get his back.
That's right.
Every single time.
That's right. And that's what you call storytelling because they kept with it.
Yep.
I mean, even Adrian was hinting at us back in 2023 because when he first announced EWA, we were the ones to bring it to the forefront to the public. And he was telling us, wait till y'all see the storyline that I got cooking. The storyline that he was cooking involved the Ben Sheeran brand. Because we had it set back in our minds that Ben Sheeran was a good guy.
Yeah.
Suddenly he attacks Mark Clay and sides with Clayton Canyon.
Good guys don't do that.
Exactly. And now we start seeing BSB. Gaston LaRue joins him. Alex Angel turns on Scott Diamond, chokes him out with a tie over the rope. That was a hell of a storyline.
Yep.
And when it ended, was beautiful.
Yep.
Way better than what we're seeing around here because this is stupid. Like,
oh no, is he going to get her?
How stupid is this? Because why is John Moxley one guy? I mean, he's not got a chair. All you had to do, Moxley, is go inside the ring. So who cares about the other guy with the chair? Why is Jay White even there?
I feel like John Moxley, like he's afraid he's gonna bleed, so he doesn't.
Oh my God! For the first time ever, John Moxley is afraid to bleed.
No, see, the problem is he's not bleeding, so he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly right.
He's gonna start Sandman and grab a beer. And
Or remember when
Who's
we all
this?
thought, "Oh God, it's Willow Nightingale."
Okay, yeah. What's she doing?
Why is she out here?
She's not mean enough to give nobody no concerto.
Exactly. They never established any reason for
What's
her
her
to
beef
even be
with her?
involved.
Yeah.
What? This reminds me of when she was the Tibet.
She killed her. She's dead.
Oh, she did.
She just committed murder for what reason?
Exactly.
See, this is what
And
we're
she's-
talking about, Tony.
And I also remember Jay White was the hottest thing to come to the AEW, and
Went down.
now he's not there.
Shout out to the Switchblade.
I missed the team days with Boston Gunn and them, but now it's
You
no
mean the
longer
ass
there.
boys?
Yep. Yes, boys. Thank you, Danhausen.
Oh man, I love him.
Me too. There's a lot of people that don't, but Danhausen has a great gimmick.
I mean, I seen like he does like some review show on YouTube, and I could just sit there and watch him because his character, the
Me
Danhausen
too.
character, just I love it. It's
Me too.
Amazing.
Exactly. He's got his voice like camera boy Nick. One time he broke though because he's reading a letter. He opens up the letter. He's reading it. And it says Camera Boy Greg. And he says Camera Boy Greg and starts bursting in laughter. He's like, Camera Boy Greg, that's you. And Camera Boy Nick's like I'm not Greg, I'm Nick. And from then on, he started calling him Camera Boy Greg the break Nick. But that just shows Danhausen understands it.
Mm-hmm.
Character building is very important in wrestling.
Yep.
Without character, there is no wrestling.
Oh yeah, I think you got Mean Mark Calloway.
Yep.
Same guy as the Undertaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no one cares about Mean Mark Calloway.
Yep.
They got the Undertaker. That's a cool character.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, we're invested. We care.
Exactly.
And then he takes that and evolves it over 30 years, and they still care.
That's right.
That's crazy.
And it's like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He started out as Stunning Steve.
No one cares.
He started out as Ring General.
This
Steve Austin, no one cared.
No one cares.
Then finally, Stone Cold Steve Austin and the people gravitate towards it. Why? Because he was a beer swilling, cussing, storming, flip off his boss.
Hey, I can
Fuck
relate.
you, guy.
Yeah, right.
Yes, right. And The Rock, people didn't like Rocky Maivia. Die, Rocky, die.
Yep.
Die, Rocky, die. Well, The Rock goes, what The Rock says you can take it and stick it. You can know what The Rock is cooking. And boom, the rest is history. Because character building is important. I mean, guys like Macho Man understood it. Jake the Snake understood that.
Yeah.
Roddy Piper understood
You
that.
get that charisma.
Exactly.
It's hard to deny it.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. Is like you don't like Hulk Hogan. Obviously, think whatever you want of him. He's a wrestling god.
Yeah.
Can't deny that.
Can't deny it. And he's almost people's Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
In ring talent, as far as moves and stuff, not that impressive.
Yeah.
Charisma and character and stuff, people love that guy.
Yes.
That's what blew him up. Was
Now, have you gone back and watched him versus Antonio Inoki?
the one over in Japan?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I've seen that.
The fact that he could actually wrestle.
Yeah,
Hogan can wrestle.
he can, but
He
here's
just didn't bring that to America.
Exactly.
It's just all character.
he's one of those less is more, brother. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Yep.
And if it don't work for him, you better not expect
don't
the
work for
job.
nobody.
But here's the thing. I just realized that after going back and watching WCW, he did do the JLB a lot for guys. Guys that you didn't expect him to do JLB for.
I feel like we think about him now because everyone has a podcast
Yeah.
and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, Hogan wouldn't lay down for me that night, brother. And it's just like, well, Hogan sucks. Well, it's like, oh man.
But then you go back and you watch it. He was doing the JLB for a lot of people, even during the New Blood era. He was jobbing for all the New Blood, and you're like, I thought this man don't do the JLBs. I thought he was allergic to it. Turns out he was doing a lot of it.
Sorry.
No, that's fine, brother. But Hulk Hogan was one of those guys that understood character work. Say your vitamin, eat your prayers, and do it with the Hulkamaniac.
Hey, that's a Wrestling Crate shirt. Don't you rip that? I got that same shirt.
Hey, I've never ripped this shirt.
No.
Cause this is my boy.
Look at him.
The four faces of
You got
Foley.
Cactus Jack. You got
I
the
didn't even
dude
notice you're
love.
wearing your Foley shirt.
Yep.
Oh,
Hell
man.
yeah. Cactus Jack. Great minds think alike.
I'm still wearing the Ace Carmichael shirt.
That's right.
Hey, we need to get some of those. We need to get some of those.
Yeah, we need to get some of those.
Alrighty.
But you know what? You also got to get it to Mick Foley as well.
Yeah.
Mick Foley, if you're watching this, you need to wear an Ace Carmichael shirt.
All in
And
Ace
you need to
Carmichael
put it over
shirt.
too.
Yeah, and wear it around Christmas time with your Santa Claus.
Exactly. Well, actually, I think there's Christmas time all the time for
Yeah,
him.
yeah. That's
Because
what
he
they say.
loves Christmas.
Loves it.
But we also got him on our wall.
Sacco?
Yep.
Yep, in there?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That man is our guy, besides Terry Funk. That's no one that gets it.
Yeah.
When he made you actually believe that he fucking hated his opponent. If he wanted to cut you open, he'd do it. I was watching a match between him and Jerry Lawler in an empty arena. The match that inspired that man's empty arena match with The Rock. And they're just fighting over this fucking stick that he's trying to jab out fucking Lawler's eye, and he's just trying, they're just rolling around tussling, and next thing you know, Lawler gets up, kicks the arm, and he stabs his eye, and he's like, my eye! It was wild,
Yeah.
because he made you believe.
Yeah, even in an empty arena.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And then you had Brutus. I mean, fuck. Brody.
Yeah, Brody.
Brutus
Yeah.
Brody. He would make you believe because that chain they would use, that's just so he could keep the fans away from touching them.
Yeah, whip him around.
Because he would have fucked him up if they touched him. But he would fucking go into the crowd and he'd be just swinging that thing around
a
like
propeller,
crazy.
like a helicopter coming through. You can make way.
Like he made you believe. Stan Hansen, he made you believe. That match with Vader, that was a hard hitting match.
Hey, you know what I think about like older wrestling like that is everyone says, like as far as like make them believe. It's like no, because that's who they are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that is one problem with wrestling now. Is like there's a lot of guys like no one's the tough guy that like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like pretty much every wrestler nowadays, and it's just the way times as like a society has evolved. It's like almost every wrestler's like you can like approach anybody pretty much. It's like back then, like I kind of want a Stan Hansen autograph, but he might kick my ass. So
Yeah,
like
right.
I'm not even gonna ask him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because back then, those guys, they were who they were. Mm-hmm. Bam Bam Bigelow, Beast from the East, tattoo of flames on his head. Motherfucker was so tough. You actually believed that he was a beast.
Yeah.
And then he saved people from a burning building to show that he was a good man.
Yeah.
And even John Tenta, a.k.a. Earthquake, that man was a good man because he legit had a sumo background. Mm-hmm. There's one time where he had an instant where another sumo wrestler got into a shoot with him. And John was a nice guy. John tried to work with the guy. And next thing you know, the guy just stops working with him. John tells him, it's fucking professional wrestling. He's going to beat that guy's ass. But he tried to stay calm and keep professional because the guy was literally, for some reason, the guy didn't want to work with him no more.
Yeah.
And the guy had a history of not working with you if he didn't like you somehow.
Was it Antonio Inoki and the guy, the big old
Great
dude,
Antonio.
in the yellow?
The Great Anthony.
Yeah, he tries to
Yes.
shoot on him and he just
Yes.
gets his ass kicked.
Yes. And Inoki whooped his ass.
Yes, he did. Bad.
And the fact that Inoki at first starts out working with him.
Like chilling. Like
But then this guy literally does so much to piss Inoki off that finally Inoki just starts whooping his ass.
Have you
Bad.
watched a video with the Bill Burr commentary?
no.
Oh, that's the way to watch it.
I will look that.
That is the
It's
way
so
to
it's going
watch
on,
it.
but he like he's commentating on
I
it.
think Bill Burr was on like Rogan's podcast talking about it.
Okay.
And then so like someone dubbed the audio with clips
With
of that
it,
match. So
yeah, I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Because that's the way to watch it. Like the guy deserved everything that Inoki gave him because the guy literally thought that he's can't be touched, can't be beat.
That's equivalent to somebody just like walking up, starting like bullying somebody, and then they get whooped.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's the same
Exactly.
thing.
And that's literally what happens. Sometimes there are guys in wrestling that will be like that. How Great Anthony does it. Because he thought they was untouchable. He thought these people pay to see me. I'm untouchable. You're gonna do the job for me, and that's it.
That guy's in a different world.
Yep.
It's like, does he not know who that is?
Exactly. And then Inoki worked with him for a moment. Finally, Inoki's like, nah, that don't work for me. I'm gonna whoop your fucking ass. Beat his ass, and literally while he's down on the ground, just starts kicking him inside the head.
Yeah, if you're not gonna sell for me, I'll make it sell.
Exactly. That reminds me of Great Sasuke. Great Sasuke took issue with a man called Dirtbike Kid because, one, it was a tournament where you wear a mask. Mm-hmm. Well, Dirtbike Kid gets out there and he removes his mask instantly, going to business for himself. At first, Great Sasuke tried to work with him. That's fine and dandy. Well, you see on the bill that Dirtbike Kid, he for some reason just stopped working with him. So Sasuke, it's like, yeah, all right. Kicks him side the head a couple times. Front face locks him to end the match quickly because he was really heated.
Yeah.
But that was his way of stopping the match before he beat that guy's ass badly.
It's always a good solid kick to the head.
Yep.
That kind of like knocks it. Like it's kind of like you guys remember the what was his name? The guy who he used to be on Animal Planet that would train the dogs.
Yeah.
And he hits them with the like that, like grabs it like that.
The dog whisperer.
Yeah, that's a good like kick to the head's a good snap his attention. Like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Like if we get a wrestler mad and he's trying to work with you and you're not working with him.
Yeah. Hit him with a
Yeah, exactly.
or a roundhouse kick to the head.
Give him a good stiff kick. He'll listen immediately unless he is Great Antonio or Great Anthony.
Then you hit him with a couple.
Yes. But sometimes you have to do that. Because there are some times where you meet a wrestler that, for some reason or other, he kind of has a bigger head. Mm-hmm. It doesn't understand that wrestling is all about cooperation. You want to protect each other while having fun and making those people out there invest in you.
Yep.
But there's guys that are like, I don't need their approval. I'm untouchable. You can't beat me. I don't want to look bad. So I want that. Remember that time with Dan Spivey and Sid Vicious worked with this guy called Mike Bell, and he had a partner with him. And this guy didn't want to lose his hometown, even though he's supposed to be putting over them.
Yeah, doesn't everyone know you lose in your hometown?
Yeah, right.
And he literally no-sold them for the entire match.
Yeah.
And finally, Dan Spivey and Sid Vicious, they throw out the tag team partner. Like, you can literally see Sid or Dan tell the guy, we're going to throw you out there. You're going to stay out there. And then they start whooping this guy's ass. Teddy Long literally tells him on camera, you can hear him say, kill his ass, as they're beating his ass. Mike Bell did not stand a chance after that. Sometimes you got to know who not to piss off. And Dan Spivey was one of those guys.
The only time I've ever seen Sid mad is whenever his car was crushed.
Yep. And remember that when he jumped on my car, go Bird.
And then I love how the next week he came out and he's like, something about parking space 13. 13! Oh no! And he runs out there and his car's like, no!
He thought that it was gonna be Goldberg's car that got crushed, but instead it ended up being his again.
And that was 2 of the 83 weeks right there.
Yep.
So, I mean, there you go.
Exactly. Remember that time when him and Arn Anderson got to fight with scissors?
Man.
Was it the hotel room or
Yep.
something? Yeah.
Yep. I mean, sometimes that happens though. They were heated, and it just evolved into a scissor war. Went from a fist fight to a scissor war. They both ended up stabbing each other, go to the hospital, make up, still friends.
You got any friends like that could stab you with some scissors? You'd be like,
Yeah.
Tomorrow, hey, brother. What's up?
Yeah, that can happen.
Maybe not tomorrow, but
Give it a week or two.
Give it a week or two, or
Wait till
give
these
it a month.
stitches get out. I mean, and-
That's right. But sometimes it just happens.
Exactly.
Two guys gotta slug it out, or it evolves to a scissor fight.
Hug it out or thug it out. That's what
That's
I like.
right. And that's what they did. Arn Anderson is the man because the Spine Buster looked great. His tag team with Tully Blanchard was a badass tag team. His Brain Buster looked good too. Mm-hmm. You can't take away from that.
No.
A lot of people like to give Ric Flair his credit. I give Arn Anderson his credit. About Arn Anderson, there's no 4 horsemen.
No.
Because Arn Anderson named that fucking group.
Yep. He was the good Anderson in the group.
Yep.
Personally.
He sure was, because old Anderson, nobody likes him. Like, you watch any old stories, they all hate his guts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, well, damn, Ole. Did you have to make them all hate you?
Every one of them.
And the fact
Make
that
a
he
whole
was the
territory.
Shockmaster. The Shockmaster boys. Oh, my God.
Isn't that like one of the greatest?
Yes, it is.
Man.
The greatest, because nobody told him that they put an actual 2x4 down there.
I am the
and when he goes through the wall and the helmet comes off and he gets the helmet, and you can audibly hear Dave Boy Smith say he fell on his fucking arse. That's funny as hell.
Now, Ole had a great voice, but
Yep.
that promo sucked.
I'm the Shockmaster.
Yeah.
What? You want to go, punk? Huh? You want to go?
You remember when Arn Anderson parried that in, I think it was 2012 or 2013, and they had Santino as the Shockmaster, and yes, you hear a voice say, "I'm the Shockmaster," and Triple H and them out there seeing Santino, that they look around, they're looking. There's Arn Anderson. He's got the microphone and everything. Arn looks at them, looks at the microphone, drops it, and runs. And they're like, "Oh, that's funny as hell," because it pokes fun at wrestling, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's honoring what came before.
Yep.
Because even that is good wrestling.
Yeah.
Because they didn't shine negatively on that.
Exactly.
Because that could have happened to anyone.
Exactly. I think like R-Truth does a great job of that.
Oh, he does.
Because
he's
like
the best.
wrestling is entertainment. It's not all about badasses kicking other badasses' asses.
That's right.
There's entertainment value. So if you can get in there and make it entertaining and funny, and it works, now you can have some stupid comedy.
Yeah.
But if you can like get in there and have a good wrestling match and add comedy to it, that's great.
Exactly.
Well, I've always equated wrestling to a circus act. You go to a circus, it's not just a strongman.
No.
It's not just the clowns juggling. It's not just the acrobats.
Yep.
It's all of it.
Yep.
And that's what wrestling should be. It should
Yes.
be
Exactly.
all of it.
Because every piece matters to make wrestling what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You need your comedians. You need your serious wrestlers. You need your wrestlers that understand romance. You need your wrestlers that understand storytelling. You also need your wrestlers that may not be good but are decent, because when they're decent, they can make a good match good.
Mm-hmm.
And you need your referees to understand their place too. You don't need an Aubrey Edwards who does way too much to draw the attention on her than the actual match.
Way too often, too.
Yeah.
You know?
You
Like,
need your
occasionally
referee-
you get that Herb finger point.
Yeah.
But like every pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly. Because
They got a ref in Mexico who does suicide dives and all that. Yeah.
yeah, what they don't understand is that that's all fun and then, but the difference between them and what Dallas Edwards did from the build I showed you is that he didn't do that all night.
Yeah, that's a one-time
It's only
thing.
one spot.
And that
but-
makes it memorable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also, the referees aren't supposed to make the attention about them because their job is to be out there, gauge the fans, be able to tell the boys when it's time to go home, and also tell the boys if the fans ain't liking something.
Yep.
To switch it up. But she does a little bit too much.
Too
It makes
much.
you go, my God, is the referee who I'm supposed to be watching?
Is the referee going to win?
The difference between her and Mark Curtis from WCW, who was doing the finger bang before her, is that he didn't do that all the time.
No.
He didn't
The big match
animate
or
all the
something.
time.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. He made sure that the matches was the most important thing. And whenever he did the finger bang guns, they meant something. Because he'd only do them for certain matches.
Yep.
But she tries to do them for every match.
Yeah, every match. That's why you got to make it special. You gotta
Exactly.
Make it memorable.
That's why we need referees that, like Jonathan Barnes, Dallas Edwards, Daniel Spencer, SBO, God rest his soul. We need those guys that can teach other referees how to do it. Because if you got referees that can understand what you're supposed to do inside a match, that's the best.
Yeah.
And what these... Too much of these guys.
Why aren't they going to jail?
Exactly. But here's the thing. I don't think that they had a plan for how they're going to do that. Willow, I don't know where she comes from, because shouldn't she been trying to get her title back that she lost to Mercedes Moné? Because that was literally what happened. She lost it to her, and we didn't see Willow Nightingale for a long time. Now suddenly she's here.
Now she's taking it out.
Yeah, exactly. And then, don't get me wrong, his gimmick can work.
Yeah.
But when he had the title, he was putting inside a bag.
Mm-hmm.
And you also didn't feel like he was champion. You felt like the title meant nothing.
Yeah. He's one that doesn't need a belt.
Yep.
He's got the gimmick.
He's better off doing this gimmick because this gimmick is inspired by Richmond.
Now, can you imagine this? Orange Cassidy, heel turn.
Yes.
He starts
I'd like to see
everything. No more denim, no more hands in the pocket. He's just out there doing everything.
We need that.
100, like he's at 100%.
Yeah, because he's been this gimmick for at least 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
No, 6 years because AEW started in 2019.
Yep.
So if he goes heel, he ditches everything that's Orange Cassidy, and he also changes his name and starts calling fans stupid because they all played into his hands for the last 6 years. That would have been fire. And we're right back to him trying to go for the title that he lost.
What do you guys think about Don Callis?
I like this. I like this version of him.
Despicable human being. I think.
Yes, he is.
Look at him.
Because he turned on Will Ospreay and everything. And then this man right here sold his soul to him.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that he's defending his title against Orange Cassidy.
Don Callis has had a great wrestling mind.
Oh, yes.
Man, that guy's a wrestling genius.
The Jackal.
The Jackal.
That's where I recognized him first.
Yep.
And back then he had hair that was all long, and he still had the same lame ass voice and made you hate his guts. But he's gotten even better now that he's here.
Yep.
Because he's at least written well.
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy right here, Takeshita, this guy's awesome. I just wish that they book him like a world champion because this guy has it.
Yeah.
Like he's defending his title against Orange Cassidy.
Is he defending it?
Is he?
I don't know because I was
think
gonna say
so.
I haven't seen Orange Cassidy in months.
Me either.
You know what I mean? So that doesn't make sense. That'd be like
The ref's holding the belt up. It's on the line.
okay, that's it. My next match will be a title.
Scott Harrell chimed in. He said, "Jackal, little jewel on his forehead." That's right, Scott.
That's my brother Scott, all the way from Denver. Or no, he's in Montana now. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You guys ever been to Montana?
No, I've never.
Montana's a good place.
It's a good place. Yeah, it's crazy though because like if you're driving around, if you're not in like one of the like what am I thinking? Urban areas.
Yeah.
Like because most of it's all just mountains and like long roads. If you're like struggling and you're almost out of gas, like it gets scary because like you don't know when you're going to see a gas station out there.
Hey, that happened to us last year after the Caverna Super Show. I mean, after our match in Salina, Tennessee. We were driving. Gas light comes on.
All right, we'll get gas.
Fuck. And then we go to a gas station. Gas station's closed.
Mm.
And now you got to go and rapidly, desperately try to find a gas station that's open that night. And guess what? We come to a gas station that looks like it's closed, and it was open the entire time. We were saved after over 2 hours of being on that road. My God, that was a scary experience.
So
But that's Tennessee for you.
So Scott says no one in AEW really has it.
He's
Nobody?
right.
Well, yeah. I mean, what are we saying? It's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Well, I mean, you could have said the same thing in WCW back in 93, 94, and they had Austin, they had, a lot, they had they had Triple H, as Terra Ryzing. So, I mean, and those guys had it, just WCW didn't have it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that comes with the booking and stuff like that. Yeah.
exactly.
So, Scott, to say nobody has it, I don't think it's too broad a general term.
Yeah,
This guy here has it.
You
though,
probably have
to
some
catch
guys
the-
that have it, but they're just not put in a place to show it.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I mean?
Okada. Okada was New Japan Pro Wrestling's biggest star. Comes to AEW, what's he done now?
I feel like he's how we was talking about Hogan in Japan works, and then
Yep.
Hogan in America, he works, but I'm not taking all kinds of bumps and stuff.
Right.
Because like if you watch Okada, like on like say Dynamite, and
Yeah.
then you watch him on a pay-per-view, it's two different Okadas. You get about 50% on TV, but then
Yep.
you put him in like the match with like Osprey or something on a pay-per-view, he's a different animal.
Exactly. And this guy here, Takeshita, he has it.
Yeah.
If they've just built him up. I mean, right now they're giving him matches that are going to build him up, but he needs to stay consistent with it. This guy needs to become AEW champion in the next year or two because this guy has it.
What about Osprey? Has he become a part to where he's over enough to where like there's no sense of putting the belt on him now because he's kind of like we was talking about the Outrunners. He's so like he was red hot. They missed the opportunity to put the belt on him, and now it's like he's kind of cooled off. He's still over, but he's kind of like past like he doesn't need the belt.
Right,
now. He's already over.
Yeah.
Exactly. My favorite thing is that he thinks Triple H was talking about him when he said Miss Grimes, so he had to do the oldest joke side book about Stephanie Man. And I'm like, Will, you're doing good, so good. Why do you have to do that? Even though he's still doing good, I feel like his booking just hasn't been trying to push him as a star.
Exactly. Now think about if he was put into like a Penta role.
Yeah.
Like where Penta was good in AEW, but then you put him in like this guy cursing. Is he doing the Danhausen curses? But
I will cuss you.
but to say that like Osprey would have went to WWE and he gets that big push that Penta's got now, like that's crazy what he could do.
Exactly. Because now he's not doing moves for the sake of it. Because in AEW, there's no production means. You don't get told how to do it.
Go over there and get over.
And you're doing things that can injure you faster. But in WWE, now you're doing moves that are going to mean something. And there's not a lot of room for injuries. Because you're inside carefully controlled space.
It's almost like that's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly. But AEW forgot that.
Yep.
Because
I feel like they have a completely different crowd, which they kind of do.
Yeah, they got a more hardcore crowd.
Yeah.
Kind of like they want to see you bleed all the time.
Yeah.
So you get injured a lot.
That's why
Later, Scott. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate that.
Thanks for tuning in. Oh, look at this. He said something else.
Uh-oh.
That's why the guys that come out of Japan always look really good at wrestling, but their storytelling is awful. And anybody who goes from here to Japan who wasn't the greatest storyteller ends up being a really big star in Japan. I mean,
yeah, he said
that's true.
Think about, Prince, Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Over in Japan, great. Comes over here, he's still good, but it's not what he was in Japan.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like so different. You
know? Oh, it is.
And then I feel like a lot of people, like you got like Okada, like I don't know how good, like he can speak English, but would you put him on there for like a long promo to kind of build anything? I don't know. It's always something like that. Then you got like Asuka, huge ordeal in Japan, comes here, still ordeal, but she's never been in no like serious storylines because like how well can she talk and get over on the mic like that.
The best one so far that I will say is going to be doing good, Julia and Stephanie Bakir and Delta, aka now Zarya. They got it. They can talk on the mic. They still can be their strong style. It feels like they understand character work. That's something that most people that come from Japan forget. Asuka, I will say, she's been doing a hell of a job, but Io Sky, a.k.a. Io Shirai, she's got one up over Asuka. It's that she can talk, she's badass, and she can tell stories. Most people that come from Japan need to try and strive to be like Io Shirai because that'll take them far.
Yep.
Just like Julia. When I first heard her speak, I was like, she's already got it because she already understood.
Yep. And then, like I think about like Shinsuke Nakamura. He first came over. He was hot for a minute.
Yep.
And then went downhill.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
I feel like a part of that was because Vince McMahon suddenly stopped buying him as a star. Because Triple H saw him as a star, but Vince McMahon was like, let me take him. Now I'm going to show you, pal. how I treat these pieces of trash.
Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah, worst gimmick ever. Because even though it's still used as a tag team name for Asuka and Kairi Sane, it's more of like an insult from Vince McMahon to them.
Oriental
back
Express.
then. Yep.
Or whatever. Was that what it was called? Like in the 90s or
Yeah.
something
Yep.
like that?
Like, they should be getting a better name than that.
Mm-hmm.
But at least, even though they have the name still, they treat it like stars now.
Yeah.
Now, if Vince McMahon was still here, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Io Sky, Julia, Stephanie Bakir, Delta, fired.
Any woman who's not a blonde.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he likes his blondes. Oh, except for Janelle. That's the only exception. Because she's got brown hair. But any other person, they got to be blonde. I mean, think about it. He thought Sable was the hottest thing inside the world.
Yeah.
And yet, Sunny was hot, but he didn't treat her like she was the hottest thing. Sable was his hot lesbian action. But that was Vince McMahon for you. His mind works in weird ways.
Yeah, very weird ways. Professional wrestling promoting genius, and then other ways, idiot.
Yes. Because if you think about it, a lot of his ideals weren't his ideals.
Mm-hmm.
He had them pitched to him by his smarter team. Triple H has a smart team as well, but they're not yes men.
Yeah.
And Triple H encouraged them. Like I watched recently, Pat McAfee helped put together the things that happened recently at the Royal Rumble event. I'm like, oh damn, Triple H actually lets his team do things.
Trust somebody.
Exactly. Now if that was Best Man would be like, fuck you, I'm gonna run it all. You're just gonna sit there, look pretty, and I'm gonna say everything I need to say, pal.
Pronouns, pal.
And then he's going to shit on their head. Oh, look at this. We got something from Twitch. Wretched Hallmark. Best viewers.
Don't.
Oh,
That's
never mind.
scam shit.
It's a scam bullshit. My bad. But we do get some views from Twitch. But not that one. But you know, speak of storytelling, what do you think about some of the greatest storytelling that you can remember?
So
What would you say is your favorite?
favorite stories? Oh man, I remember. The Kane and Undertaker.
Oh, I was about to
was
suggest that.
great. That was great. One of my favorite, probably my favorite WrestleMania matches, WrestleMania 13, Austin and Brett.
Nice.
I loved the Bret Hart Canadian, all that stuff against the USA, and then him with obviously Brett and Shawn, all their stuff. I always thought was great. But yeah, like as far as like greatest stories, like the Undertaker and Kane, I remember that one just like one that like I was like, these guys are brothers and they almost kill each other.
Hell yeah!
Because I was like 7 or 8, and I just thought that was wild. Because I'm sitting there watching my brother, and I was like, man, like I couldn't imagine like, what if I burnt down the house and killed my parents? And then I grew up to be a professional wrestler, and he somehow survived, and then like he comes after me. Like,
And I have a daddy called Paul Bear that fucked my mom and made Kane.
yes.
Oh man, that was perfect.
That was perfect. That was a perfect Paul Bear impression.
Thank you.
Oh yes,
Yes.
it's so uncanny.
How about this? I love you.
Oh God, brother, love.
Do we have Just Incredible?
I love you,
Do we have Just Incredible in the studio? What's going on?
Where's he at?
Jason Sensation.
Jay, that's his name.
I'm not a nugget.
I am not a nugget. But man, those are funny.
Yes, they are.
Those are really funny. I mean, I know you couldn't do them nowadays, but those
Yep.
are funny.
What would you say if I said we've been on here 2 hours?
I'd say it's flown by.
Yes, it has.
But
And at this point, guys, we say our goodbyes to our fans. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Look me up on Instagram or Facebook. Just search Ace Carmichael. When you see this beautiful face, hit the follow or add me as a friend. You can also, if you're interested in some all-in Ace Carmichael merch, DM me. We'll order you a shirt or whatever. You can catch me at the next show in Danville, Kentucky, March 22nd for EWA. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. I just know I'll be there, so you should be too. Appreciate you guys for letting me be on.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you.
Thank
too.
you. It's been a great time.
Hell yeah. Joe?
Thank you for stopping by,
Hey,
man.
thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for putting on a great match, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you couldn't tell me you've been away for 6 years. Yeah, we can't wait to see you at the next show and all the shows from here on out, man. And
Well, I'm excited to see you guys.
Yep.
I made 2 friends tonight. This is
Hell
great.
yeah.
That's
sir.
right.
keep on building your brand and get that gold, brother.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate
That's what
it.
it's all about. Guys, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's been tuning in. Thank you to Ace's mom that tuned in earlier. She said
Thanks,
she
Mama.
loves her Ace. Thank you to Scott for tuning in. Chris Blade. Although I did get that $5 and it was worth it. But also, guys, March 15th, Horse Cave, Kentucky. Ultimate Championship Wrestling, Trip Crown Wrestling, and USWF Wrestling
Biggest show in Kentucky.
present the biggest show, the WrestleMania of Kentucky, the greatest show in Kentucky ever, the Caverna Super Show, Horse Cave, Kentucky, March 15th, 2025. And with that, I've only got one thing to say.
We are all in,
Go
baby.
all
That's
in.
right. And if you're not having fun,
You ain't getting none.
damn, skip it. Yeet, yeet.
Nice Guy Andy Podcast.